Hi, good morning, and I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2. And certainly peace be upon you and your family. We're going to move right along in breaking the chains of psychological slavery. We're in chapter 2, and the section that we are on is celebration time. Come on. And it goes like this. The popular music group Kool and the Gang popularized this song in the early 80s, even though they were singing about a rather transitory party experience. The lyric captures the imperative of a more generic process that is necessary to remove the chains of mental slavery. We must learn to comfortably celebrate ourselves. Self-celebration, we again emphasize, does not necessitate the degradation of others. It does unapologetically sing the greatness of our accomplishments and the special blessings to the world. It tells each new generation something about the value of the fabric from which they are made. Cultures and institutions put considerable resources into creating images and opportunities to sing the praises of their accomplishments. This process is an essential part of maintaining a free mind, but it becomes even more fundamental in freeing a captive mind. Certainly, one of the major strategies for enslaving the mind was the degradation of the black African self. The story of natural black inferiority and ugliness were constant stories told to destroy the worth of the black mind. The fantasies of African backwardness as incapable of technological, slow that down, technological, developmental, and characterized by superstitions and humanly regressive acts of cannibalism and savagery, were all constructed in Tarzan's stories. Little Black Sambo, images, and thousands of other derogatory ideas. And illustrations to destroy the black person's self-image and to further the idea of black incompetence and deficiency. Celebration then becomes a healing. If Europeans could comfortably identify themselves with every image from Santa Claus to the Son of God in order to celebrate who they are, why shouldn't we find images, both real and imagined, that communicate to black African people something about our potential greatness? Perhaps Kwanzaa is not an actual African holiday, but why shouldn't we have a week-long celebration that brings pride and dignity to our culture? Why shouldn't the entire nation stop on the second Monday in January to celebrate the battle for human dignity by Martin Luther King Jr.? If black people decide to call an assembly of 1 million black men in Washington, D.C. on a Monday in October 1995, then why question the celebration, since the very structure of the city of D.C. so emphatically, believe I said that correct, emphatically, celebrates the greatness of European American accomplishment. The hundreds of statues, museums, galleries, libraries, plaques, and monuments which blanket the cities consistently celebrates the greatness of being European American. One could very easily walk around D.C. for an entire day and conclude that only European American males built this great country. It is not accidental that European American males continue to run the country and that the celebration and information they receive continuously reinforces their greatness. We must unashamedly display our image and great ancestral figures throughout our environments, from pictures on the walls to statues in the parks and street names. We should celebrate our heritage and those people who have distinguished themselves as African people of greatness. We should have more than one street named for an African American person, particularly in communities where we live. Like we don't know. For real. We should immortalize our great builders, thinkers, and warriors by constructing their images and placing their pictures systematically throughout our communities. Our churches should show pictures of great women and men of faith who endured to make a way for young black people who had not yet been born. A history mural in the churches. A museum within the churches. Although biblical or Quranic heroes tell a distant story of the power of the faith, a greater story is told by our immediate ancestors who took the faith and changed not only the ancient world but our contemporary world as well. I would think that every Baptist church, at least, and every black religious gathering place ideally should have pictures of Cynthia Wesley, Addie Mae Collins, Denise McNair, Carol Robertson. These 4 black girls who were killed when white terrorists threw a bomb through the window of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama on September the 15th, 1963. There goes some history. They should be the angelic cherubs who we think of since their lives were lost in innocent worship in a church that stood for the dignity of their people. As we discuss in greater detail the next chapter of this volume, if we must have images of religious characters, let them look like us. If we must have Santa Claus entering our house on Christmas Eve and occupying our malls from early November until December 24th, then make sure that your black child has a fantasy of a black Santa Claus who comes with goodies and good cheer from black hands and hearts. The mythology of the culture must celebrate ourselves, as do the facts of the culture. The persuasion of this argument is demonstrated by looking around the world. In any culture where people's minds are free and they engage in self-determination and action, you'll find that they comfortably celebrate themselves in hundreds of ways. The family reunions were initiated in such large numbers during the late 70s were an excellent and creative way to celebrate the black family worth, survival, and expansion. The decoration of mantels and walls in black homes with pictures of their children and their ancestors through simple acts were profound efforts to carry on the celebration process as best we could in environments that we had some control over. We need to gain broader control of the environments that we occupy so we can expand these images of self-celebration. We should comfortably celebrate in our own churches, schools, or communities the birthdays and histories of significant ancestors who have paid a great cost for our freedom. This celebration should and must go on independent of permission being given by the outside political figures. Black History Month must be a start for the celebration of our being. It cannot be an exclusive celebration, but must continue from February 1st until January 31st the following year. Whole circumference, the whole year, not just 1 month. Excuse me. Let me make that plain. Not just 1 month, the whole year. This must be a right that we guard and make apologies to no one for maintaining. It is through self-celebration that we heal our damaged self-esteem. Yes, feeling good about oneself is a legitimate activity of cultures. In fact, any culture which does not make its adherents feel good about themselves is a failure as a culture. It is through the energy of self-worth that humans are motivated to improve and perpetuate themselves. The inspiration for the greatness of human accomplishments in agriculture, science, poetry, art, industry, or any other human endeavor has been fueled by the octane of self-worth and a positive self-esteem. In the same vein, the low point of human degradation and even human self-destruction, both personally and collectively, is a consequence of the absence of self-esteem, which demoralizes the very human spirit. To free ourselves, we must comfortably celebrate ourselves. So to all, celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Let's go on and get this party cracking. Ourselves, knowledge of ourselves. To uplift, not tear down. To encourage, not discourage. To smile, not frown. To be happy, not sad, even though there are emotions that you go through. Certainly, come on back. Come on back. Don't stay down there. Come on back. We're people that's got fighters on our DNA. Fighters in our genes. What you mean? We haven't made it this far. Think about it. We haven't made it this far. By what? See, you haven't made it that far. Just look over the history. If you're an adult, look over the history. If you're a teenager, look over the history. You're still here. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, there is a purpose. The time is now. So let us celebrate. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day. And I'll holler at you real soon here on Poem Praise 2. Later, y'all.